Do I really have a new haircut? Yes. I cut it myself. Right, so let's just dive into it, right? I think I've been passionate about this subject for so long because I used to be told about twin flames and soulmates, and it used to activate my heart so much as a little kid. So I think I've always just loved the idea of like falling in love. And as I've grown up and I watch movies and I look at other people falling in love, like I know it's a real thing. And now that I've been reading books for the past 2 years, like, oh my gosh, my heart is like 1,000 times more activated than what it used to be. I'm so in love with love right now, and I think that we deserve it. Of course we deserve it, and I think that that's the thing that I want to take away from this video, and I want to discuss it because I think we deserve it. We all deserve a happy ending, and I think there's definitely a reason why that's not happening. And yeah, more conversation the better. Let's figure this out. And I think that's true because of one simple fact: my feelings. If a book can make me feel these things, then I have every right to hold that feeling as truth, as fact. And that feeling wants forever love. That feeling likes the story of forever love. And I know these book boyfriends that are taking over my life, right? They're a bit like perfect, and I know that, and I think that the girl is almost perfect as well in some respect, especially in the body respect, including the male. But I think that there's a way for us to get there, to become these perfect people for each other. So let's have this conversation. Let's talk about why the real world doesn't have what the books have. Why do we all want forever love? Why? Do you know what? I don't even know if it is about forever love or if it's just about attraction and we want to keep it and we like it and we want to have it. Like my dog, I want to hug her and I love her and I just want it. So maybe it's not even about forever love. Maybe it's just about wanting what you want, what you like, and then getting it and then playing with it and then keeping it. But I guess the forever love comes with like a deeper meaning behind everything. But I think on a basic human scientific level, I think we are just bound to each other in that way. And obviously they'll just say that we're only doing that because we need to procreate, but fair enough, it feels good and we want it and we like it when we have somebody else to hug, to cuddle, to love, and then there's more euphoric versions of that, which is written all over the books of it meaning something deep and you having these feelings for the rest of your life, right? And actually maybe a lot of people don't even have the same view as forever love. And if you read these books, the people who don't have a romantic forever love in mind will probably find these books like really stupid. But I do, and I want to paint it all over the place, like this like euphoric, deep, meaningful forever love where you fancy each other and you carry on fancying each other. And so then in my version of forever love is what I read about in the books. And basically what it is, yeah, is that you come across somebody who utterly impresses you in many different ways. And then you have like all of these flattering, desiring experiences towards them. You want to touch them. And then you have this euphoric experience when you touch them. And then you want to keep doing it and you get obsessed with it and you just become obsessed with them. And then you care for them and you have their back and you stick up for them and you do anything for them and you just want them. And you want to treat them good and you're very attracted to them. And you are compatible in the sexual way as well, in the romantic way, sexual way, not so much in the life way, because we all have different characters and different visions, but you fight, but then you make up because the attraction of wanting to be together and the admiration of it just being you, it's you, I love you. They just make the you so important to the person. So I think that that's how I see forever love, and that's how the books paint forever love. That's probably why the people of the world paint these books as like, some people of the world paint these books as stupidity and daydreaming and nonsense because of the state of the world. And of course, like, because we're not giving light to this thing, and I'm giving light to it because I'm obsessed with it. And I think that we deserve it. And I think that deep down, if I had a conversation with the whole world, deep down, everybody wants that love. They just don't think it's possible. And they don't think it's possible because the brain has not been molded in the right way to make it possible, to receive it, to be it. Because obviously if you want to receive this type of love, you have to be this type of love, meaning you have to see yourself as something. But that's the thing in these books as well, like normally these girls don't even see themselves as special. They just get this guy who all of a sudden does, and she just falls in love with him and he falls in love with her and he's everything to her. And maybe that's the whole compatibility thing of somebody making me feel like that might not necessarily make you feel like that, but they make me feel like that. So that's where the compatibility comes in with a match. But we're not even molding our brains to have understanding and I have a job, by the way. Oh my gosh, I should have said that at the beginning. I finally got a job, and I was in the and it's in a college, and I was in a canteen. I was watching these groups of people, and I could just read facial expressions really well. And I know, because I remember it clearly, what it was like to be in school. And I could tell that this girl had a crush on one of the guys in the group, and I could probably tell which one it was. And then I could tell that I didn't know if the one that she liked her back. It felt like he didn't, but the one next to the guy that I think that she liked proper really liked her. And it just got me in this whole thinking thing, because I knew I was going to do this video, of how unmatched we are in the world and how uneducated and how much we don't understand the process of attraction and what's going on. And I just want to shed light on that. And I think it's because we feel very rubbish when things go wrong in that department. And we feel very good and euphoric when things go right in that department. So then I think it's worth studying and talking about and prioritizing. And it's the reason why we procreate. So all of these good feelings that we have end up being able to. And in the last book that I read, they created a family, even though he wasn't even the real dad, he was the stepdad, but he loved them. And they created this perfect, beautiful family through love. The feeling to get you there is so beautiful and perfect. Anyway, so what should be happening is that we have to have classes as children about our emotions, about attraction, about the human being, because there's so much to understand about why somebody don't like you back. Why do you like that person? Because when you grow up, when you're young, all you care about is attraction and how they make you feel and if they reciprocate that attraction. When you have an immature brain, that's where you stop. But then when you start getting more experiences and you start learning, then you start understanding it's more than that. Like that guy that you're attracted to, actually, he has these other characteristics that are just not a match for you. And all you're seeing is how he looks like and how he makes you feel. And you're not seeing that all of that he is not for you, including how he feels about you. And so then I don't think we should approach attraction in a silent way. I think we should actually go out of our ways to understand if the attraction is reciprocated by asking loads of questions and then by seeing the answers. Because people like tell you things through their eyes. And if somebody's attracted to you, they're going to keep asking you questions. If they don't keep asking you questions, they're not interested. Again, this is, if you're having classes in these things, then you're going to be able to read the human properly when you're having a conversation with him. You're going to be able to, or her, you're going to be able to understand, right, your body language doing this, your answers are doing this. When somebody is in love, they do this. When somebody's not in love, they do this. When they're being polite and they're just happy, because that's the other thing as humans, sometimes we're just happy and we flirt because we're happy. And then you give somebody this false hope that you like them and then they end up having a crush on you. But we don't understand that because all we're talking about in schools is maths, English, science. The most we do is talk about the procreation part of what happens between two humans, but we're not giving classes about any of this, the language of the human body and decision making. We're not teaching stuff about that. And I realize, because I'm around like 16 to 18 year olds right now in my job, and I'm just seeing like, and these guys, they're getting to the age where they're starting to understand that they're attractive and they don't care unless she's absolutely perfect in all of the ways, which that's what we should be aiming for. Every girl that likes him, he's just like, it just feeds him and the way he feels about himself. And that's all he cares about, that he's having this realization that he's attractive. So then he's using all of these feelings to make himself feel good, but they're not the love of his life because they're not perfect. They're just girls. And she doesn't know that, and we're not teaching that in schools, that's what the boy will go through if he has this and that type of upbringing, and if he has that like there's so many variables that we're not studying about reading the human. So then you don't make assumptions, you don't get your heart broken, you understand why you have a crush, you understand that not all crushes are going to lead to this and that, but you also understand, and the other state of the world is that we're not free to travel. Travel costs money, and everything is like a prison. So we're not free to like really roam around to find and to play and to interview people around the world to find your match. And I'm sure it's there, but we don't have that. We don't have the education and we don't have the freedom to make that happen. What we can do about that is change it. And for me, it's so simple. It's change it. And obviously there's more complications. The government are in charge. If you try to go against them, they've got the weapons, they've got the armies. I don't know what they're doing with all that stuff. Like, that's just craziness. I'm not going to kill people for my beliefs, thanks very much. So the world is in this really weird place, but we need change. We need education from when we're little about these things, and we need to not be doing math, science, English as compulsory. And if we are, we might as well put 3 classes a week with these types of lessons. And actually, if you find, because this is only love, there's so many more lessons about the human that you need to be studying, not maths and English, all outside of you. There's so much you need to be studying about the human and your experience and how you maneuver through life, not just the love part. And so then school should be filled with that. How do you maneuver life? and what is life? And so then the education system needs to change so you can have a better education. But obviously what I'm doing now is the start of that, because this is the education, I hope. Okay, so let's talk about what they want. What do you want? What does he like? What do I like? What does she like? Does she like me? What do people like? Let's talk about that. So I can't really speak for the men, but I can speak for these books. And I hope that these writers have done their research of what a man wants in a woman. And I think they have. And actually, I kind of get the gist anyway. But also, having said that, people have taste and they have style. So then we need a universal print of what do people want. And I think we need to stop calling it shallow, right? When our eyes are pleased with what we see, I don't think that that's shallow. I think that that's a gift and we should embrace it and we should look for it. So if I'm going to find a forever love, when he sees me and he lands eyes on me, he has to be able to go, I like that. I want that. I'm attracted to that. So I think that that's the universal thing between both of us, that we have to be attracted. And every other model that says that we don't, in the conclusion, there's not a lot of happiness. And some people, yes, find happiness because they find happiness in other things. But in the love department of this euphoric love, they don't find it there. So, and then I think we have to be able to admire each other for different reasons for the man and the woman. Because I don't know, I guess we receive it differently, because I think a man wants to be inspired by you, but he just wants to just be in awe of you. Like, oh, isn't she great? And then that's it. It's like a simple thing. Whereas the woman, I don't know, it just feels a bit more like strong and more like not diluted and not simple. I don't know. It just feels different. But I do think that we need to admire each other. And then I think we need to share life and want to share life. And again, that might look different for how we give that to each other. That might look different. But we're sharing our lives. So then I'm giving you me and you're giving giving me you. So then I don't know if the forever love has this we see each other once a month and we're happy with that. I don't know, maybe. But I just mean that I want to experience life with you. I want you by my side, basically. And I want to share this with you. And for a woman, that's comfort. And for a man, that's protection. So again, we're seeing the experience differently, but we both want the same thing. We want to be together and sharing this experience together. If I'm not sharing my important moments with you and you're not by my side in my important moments with you, I don't think that's perfection. I'm sorry, because I know that happens a lot in so many relationships. And then finally, I think that we both want safety, but again, we would see it in different ways. So safety for a woman would be feeling like you're going to look after my heart, you're going to look after my body, and you're going to look after... Because, you didn't see my message. I said I just need to carry on filming. Right, sorry about that. The Chinese came and I had to run out. Anyway, so I was saying that, what was I saying? Yeah, that she wants you to look after her heart, her feelings, her body, and whatever else she decides that she wants you to look after. Safety, feeling safe, feeling like she could trust you to do those things and fulfill those things. And of course, the men in the book, they fulfill it without question. Of course, anything you need, I'll give it to you here. On the silver platter, of course, without question. You don't even need to ask. And that's the perfection. And then the man's safety, I think, is to feel like she'll never leave, to feel like she'll always love me, and that she'll accept me for me, and that I could be who I am, and that she would love me for me and accept me for me, and also have sex with me and let me have her, because that's the gift, is to let me have her. So she is the safety. So I don't think it's about, because the question is, can you be that for somebody else? Is the world currently producing humans who look at all those areas and pay attention to them? Are we having a list, exposing it to people's brains? This is what you should be doing in relationships. No, we're not, right? So are we capable of doing this? Yes, but I don't think it's about I need to become my perfect self. And yes, you do, but also it's about understanding that a perfect match is somebody who wants you. So not a version of you, but you and all of it. And that's what the perfection brings, is that you are perfect exactly as you are. So if it takes you 3 years to get the body shape that you want, like he just loves you for taking those 3 years instead of hating you for taking those 3 years. And then he'll be there supporting you, loving you. I don't know if you can hear the thing in the background, the pipe in the background. I hope you can't hear that. That's so annoying. Anyways, yes, I think we can be that. I think we can perfect ourselves and not have these characteristics that push people away. Because why are we not finding forever love? We're going to talk about that towards the end of this conversation of like, why, what else is it? What are we doing? But I think, yes, of course we could change through structure and through learning and through teaching about what's happening here and how the man's receiving you and how the woman's receiving you and the experience that they're having and the experience that you should be having, the experience that you want to have and the experience that you should be giving other people. And we're not doing that. We're just freely matching with people in the world, creating marriages, having babies with them, and we're not having any education and any support, any help. And people only do it when things go wrong and they go to therapy. And then if you're lucky enough to do that, then hopefully they could teach you a thing or two. But there's not a lot of that going on. Because like I said at the beginning, I think that life is about that feeling of falling in love. It's so euphoric, the feeling of falling in love. And I think that that's what one of the meanings of life. There's so many different feelings that bring that type of like euphoricness, and love is one of them. And I think so then it's important, and so then we should be paying attention. And you know, if you get it right, like the book that I just told you about where he wasn't the real dad, like if you get it right, like you can really love this family dynamic of being together, producing babies together, and then watching them grow. Like, and I don't know what it feels like because I brought my son up alone, and he goes and see his dad over there away from me once in a while. But I don't know what it feels like to have a man and a woman attracted to each other in this perfect way, and then producing a child together, and then having the same, you know, beliefs and respect, and then having that be perfect. Like, what does that feel like? It must be so euphoric. So I think there is something to be said about that. So yeah, let's conclude about like answering the real question of why we're not falling in love here and why we're not getting the forever love, the deep truth about it, because you want the forever love. I know you do. So let's get under this. And you know, a lot of people try to say that like it's the Disney thing tries to hypnotize you to believe that this like true love exists. Really, it's just hypnotizing. But like Disney has a lot of things in there, and I can tell the difference between the things that I don't agree with and the things that I do agree with. I have a brain of my own. So and no, I don't agree with a villain having to be there or you having to be married and then waiting for marriage until this happens and that happens. So no, I don't agree with that, but I definitely agree in this forever love. So I think we should stop saying that we've been hypnotized to believe in forever love, and I think it should just be an option. So yes, you can be the guy who's getting to know himself and he's fancying himself and he wants all of them. He doesn't want to settle with none of them until obviously he meets the perfect one, and then he might meet two perfect ones, so then he's gonna want both of them. But then there is this other experience with forever love where you're completely obsessed with somebody and you cannot let them go and you cannot have anybody else because they're just not good enough. And I think that they're just not them. And I think that is what true love is and what forever love is. It feels like that. And so then if you don't feel like that, you know, but I think that it is an option. Yes, you could be Casanova, having all of them if you want, or you can be besotted with one person and that satisfies you and you want it to be forever because of how much it satisfies you and that feeling is euphoric. So obviously we've spoken already about the state of the world and the teachings. Like we've got that part, and we've got the part where your brain just doesn't even support it because you've been influenced by your mum and your dad's relationship and other people's relationships and all these ideas and your life experiences. So your brain is not modeled, and nor does it have a model to follow to be perfect and to expect perfect outcomes in relationships. So your brain is already not molded to fit the mold of perfect love. So not only that, but I think that we're not understanding what it is to be a nice human and a good human and a fulfilled human. And I think that the human has this side to it where it's beautiful and it's loving and it's encouraging and it's sexy and it's all these like amazing things of growth and perfection and so much stuff there. And then there's this other side where the human's not so nice. The human gets aggressive. The human says nasty things. The human becomes toxic. And then the human is just not very kind. And I think that we're not, again, no conversation about that, no teaching about that. Why is that happening? Why is this one happening? What's the benefit of the two? Are we talking about that anywhere? Only when things go wrong and you're in disciplinary and you're getting told off with a voice that cannot teach you. And I think attractiveness can be taught. And I think that we're doing so many things that are not attractive, and we don't have a class. I'm going to keep saying it. On attraction, what does it look like? How do you do it? What does it mean? And I think that we can definitely, and you see in films where like you spend a lot of time around a person who's completely confident and attractive, and you start to copy their ways, and then they start to like give you tips and stuff, and then you start to change, you start to evolve. Because why? Because you have an example around you of somebody teaching you what it's like to be attractive, and you understand it. The coin drops and you see, oh, so this is what a guy finds attractive in a woman, like when she takes care of herself and when she takes care of her hair, and he likes the feminine mannerisms, and then he might like that I have a different side to me, so then I might be girly, but then I'm just all of a sudden like tomboyish, like, and it depends like what brings fire out in you. So if you like to do those things, then your compatible partner likes that about you. So it's just about you being yourself and being confident in who you are. And then I think that's what becomes attractive, like when you're confident in who you are. Because I've noticed that the humans, they have a tendency to follow what is certain and to follow what is strong. And that confidence, I think, is that like you're certain and you're strong in your delivery of who you are. And when you have this assertiveness, that's why people can get manipulated, because if I come with you with this strength and this certainty in what I'm saying, you're going to believe what I'm saying. So then if you are believable in who you are, then people find that attractive. That's why some people, they're not even like pretty or handsome, and yet they're still attractive, because of this strong delivery in who they are and what they bring and what I am, and this substance of this body is me. And so then if you have this confidence, you become attractive, and then you have this care for yourself. So then you do want to make an effort in your own style, in your own decision of what you like, but you make an effort in what you like, and then you become confident in your choices. Oh, I like this shirt. This is my style. Instead of like, oh, is this shirt okay? Like, I don't know if this shirt okay. No, I like this shirt. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel pretty. I like it. So then the delivery is strong. And I think that obviously the world is not populated with humans like that, because we don't promote that in the upbringing and in the world in general, this independence of like, I am amazing. Instead, we live in fear, because fear is everywhere. So then it sneaks into all the spaces of life because it's everywhere. So then not only am I fearful of my bills, but I'm also fearful of what I wear. And I'm also fearful that I'm too overconfident. And I'm also fearful if I have sex with too many guys. Like, there's just fear everywhere in all pockets of life. And so then your brain is being molded that way, instead of you standing strong. And that's what meant the difference between men and women are right now, is that they don't seem to have as much fear in who they are. And then I think that's why they are feeling themselves, because when you become that person, you feel yourself. You find yourself attractive because you are attractive. And so then I don't think women are empowered to be this confident, this is who I am, take me, and I like it. And if you don't like it, okay. Instead of like, oh no, you don't like me, oh no. And I know we all have the tendency to do that, but if we had enough exposure of what it's like to not do that, I think we're going to start to not do that. Anyways, it's available for us to take, like all these changes, it's available, it's there. I could see the visions, it's all written all over the books. And if this woman can, all of these women who write these books, if they can have this imagination of perfect love, then it's there for the grabbing. And I could see clearly the road to it, which is changing how we populate the world and how we run the world and how we control it. And we need to be sitting in classes learning about these things and being transparent and honest about these things. Because guess what we don't go around doing? Telling the truth. Because why? Because I want to feel myself and I don't want to lose the bit that I do have. So then I'm not going to be honest with you about the fact that you are just a bit and not just everything. And I think that's what we should aspire to. Everything. Full on, 100% everything. And like I said at the beginning, the proof is in my feelings. So I have a right to feel them. And they are telling me that forever love is possible and that the perfect match is possible. And that if we all want that, we can all have that. And let's go and do it. Let's change our classrooms, even create adult classrooms because we're going to need them. And start talking and teaching and talking. And everybody with experience come in. There's a girl, she's got so much experience. And let's be positive about this. You know, oh, these people, they're too old, they're never going to change. That's not, let's try it. Let's try. Right. So I guess the answer is that there's many reasons why you're not finding your forever love. Fix all of them and you're going to find your forever love. And you deserve it and you should have it. And I believe that you can and you will. So until next time, I will be back with another one. See you later.